Got my 95 Chevy right here, Impala SS. I'm making this video because I wanna help those out looking for some headers who still have these LT1s. Now mine's super dirty, don't mind that. Now I went ahead and sprayed some WD-40 on all these bolts. Some I can't get to because I gotta get underneath the car. But I'm going with some BBK headers. Now supposedly these are bolt-ons, but I did hear that the passenger side over here, that supposedly this one's gonna need a, I don't know if you can see that, it's gonna need some modifications, so it's not gonna be a direct bolt-on. Supposedly I'm gonna need to cut the cap off and then re-weld it to the, basically the ports where the O2 sensors are gonna be at, and I'm just gonna have to see because I don't have them right now, but I'm trying to get these off. So what I'm trying to do is just help those out for anyone who needs some tips, you know, a guide, as you can say. I really want to help these since this is a 95. I mean, nowadays, what, 260? They came with 260 horsepower, is not too much, but just trying to help it breathe. And that's my main goal, and then for it to sound better. I got some Flowmasters on here. I actually have a cold start on those, and the car sounds actually really good for it being, what, 25 years old already. And I'm trying to help it sound even better, so that's my main goal with this one. But anyways, going on to the bolts, the header bolt, or these manifold bolts. These are a 9/16, and the one that I'm using is right here. I'm using this on a 1/2 inch ratchet, and I got the long socket just because it does come in handy, but also if you have a short one, because this short one worked for me to take out this one right here, because it's not that long, so it won't have to go all the way in like these first two right here. So I think for the rest of them, for the rest of them it should be with this one. But if you need more, you know, if you need kind of like an extension, you could say, you could use that long one. But they are tricky from the top. They're super tricky to get. I got these middle ones out, so it should be 8. So it should be two right here, 4. So wait, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be a total of 8 on each side. I don't know. I'd have to get underneath to actually double check that, but I did order the ARP bolts, and there is a total of 16, I believe. So it should be 8 on each side. And you can see that one right there, that one on the end. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I mean, one right. Let's see. Let me try to zoom in on that. Right there. So that one's the one on the end, and then there's another one right. Let me see. Right here, where I have my finger at, I think. Unless it might be on, yeah, it's right here. And like I said, it's not too difficult. It's pretty easy to take these out. I'm actually very surprised that my bolts are coming out super easy. This one I am having kind of trouble with just because of these lines, not the power steering, the ABS lines, and then the steering shaft actually the control arm. This is upper control arm right here. And it is a little difficult, but it's not impossible. But one thing I will tell you guys is be super careful with these ABS lines, because they move easily and you can bend them easily. They might be able to break just because of the age, so be super careful with that. But I finally got this bolt out. I don't know if I got one exactly like this from ARP. They might be a little different just because they're going to be different headers. So they might be connecting different. So that's pretty much it. You can see right here, I'm gonna be able to, well, no, because this thing is still connected, but you can see right here, I mean, there are no more bolts. So I think up until like from right here to like right here, there are no more bolts. So I just need the two back ones, and obviously this knucklehead. So I'm gonna work on this one next, just so I can be able to pop this off. So these are the ones that came out underneath. They're 16, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 16. I think your best bet would be to do with an extension, if you're doing it with ratchet or with an impact gun like he's doing it. So one thing I forgot to mention actually about where the check valve goes to the top of the manifold, we took it off with an adjustable wrench, and that was pretty much it. It's not really a size. I mean, you could go for a size, but I don't have a wrench for that. So we just went with the adjustable one to take it off, and it came off. And I'm actually gonna take off the smog pump. There's no reason for me to keep it on, especially since, I mean, look at this. Like, do I really want to reuse this? I don't really think this stuff is good anymore. So I'm getting the headers on Tuesday, about 3 days from now. And I won't be able to work on it until next Friday. And there is that bracket. So there's this one right here. Right here. I don't think you can see that. But there's a bracket right there. That right there. Where that nut is at, all the way down there. It goes all the way and connects to the manifold down. I don't think you guys will be able to see it, but I can point it out for sure. Like right here. It is right there. So that's gonna be kind of tough. Like I said, BBK recommends taking off the alternator, but we can get by it. We can definitely get by it. I am gonna heat wrap these, because actually this one's already ripped. You can see it right there. It's already ripped. I don't know how the hell that happened, but I'm gonna have to wrap these up and try to make sure that they don't rip, because that's not good. These Thunderbolts are really good, and they cost almost an arm and a leg. So, and by the way, I did actually get some NGK spark plugs in there. AC Delcos are actually really good for these cars too. Nothing wrong with going AC Delco on this engine. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it for now, until we actually get the headers themselves in here. So yeah. Alright, so today is Thursday. I haven't worked on this car since, I was working on it yesterday, but I haven't really done much since Saturday, since we took off this driver's side. And today, I just finished putting on these heat wraps for the spark plug wires, and also covered this cut with the electrical tape. And other than that, I mean, I took off the whole cat. I mean, I had to. You'll see, because I have it over here. I had to cut it off from here. This was the piece going to the back, out back, and this was where it went up to. And the BBKs they're not compatible with these, so it's only gonna be 2 on each side. So let me freaking. It's only gonna be 2 on each side, so it'd be like this, but right here in the middle. So I'm gonna have to just roll without them for a while. Like I said, it's a good thing I already did Smog, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm gonna take it to get welded, just cut off here, and hopefully just weld that side back on. And I'll have to do that on both sides. So unfortunately, it's not a direct bolt-on like they claim it is, but I don't mind. I don't mind. A few of you will, but for me, I don't mind at all. I finished taking off the rest of the smog pump stuff. It's literally just this pipe that goes onto the other side. Not sure if you can see that moving right there. I am gonna block it off. I think like you just take off the. Let me see. Let me get this off. Well, basically, there's a fuse right here. I'm doing this one-handed. There's a fuse right here where you just take off like on the diagram, it'll show air, and that's the air pump, and you just take it off. But I guess it controls the hood light too. So if you don't use the hood light, I mean, I don't think you'll care too much. But Other than that, what else? I mean, I've just pretty much taken this thing apart, not completely, but I've been just working with it, working around it. Actually, just a sweet little piece I put back on. I had this for a while sitting in the garage, and I finally put on this lower air dam. I just had it sitting there for a while, and I figured I might as well put it back on. So now for the sweet part. These are the BBKs right here. This is the driver's side, and it is just chrome. I didn't get it ceramic coated. Unfortunately, they're actually quite expensive for those. And I'm gonna be putting this one on right now. So I shouldn't have too many problems, honestly. Now that I got that bottom piece taken out, I can just go ahead and bolt on the one that goes here. As I was saying, there's 2 on each side, not 3. So it should be pretty easy. Now that I got these heat wrapped, it's all ready to go. So I'll be back hopefully once this thing is on. Forgot to mention, I am gonna be blocking off the these right here, the things for the smoke pump. So I actually got these from Amazon. Here's the part number. I'm gonna be putting all these, everything I use I'm gonna be putting in the description, but this is for these that I use for the BBKs. It should be universal for the other ones as well, because these are designed to work with the stock Smog pump, or to work with the Smog pump. So it should work with the rest, with the stock ones. And other than that, I mean, I actually got these ARP header bolts. This is the part number right there. And these are the ones I'm going to be putting on. But I did notice that BBKs were a bit different, because on you might have 1 or 2 that end up like this. Where's it at? Oh, right there, like this one. Like that right there. And you just put a nut on it, like on the outside. You just put something like this, like one of these on the outside. And that's honestly how I took it off. So it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. All right, so I got the driver's side on after a lot of frustration. So I mentioned that the ARP bolts I was gonna use. Yeah, I didn't. I only used one, which is right here on the end, that one right there, because they were not lining up at all right here. So I just ended up using the ones that BBK sent me, and they're perfectly fine. These are 10 millimeter, the ones that BBK sent me, and the ones that are ARP are 8 millimeter. And yeah, I just went with BBKs because the ARPs were just not working at all for me. And yeah, it's on here. Unfortunately, I couldn't put on a nut here because there's just no room at all, but there are a total of 8 bolts. The stock manifolds only use 6, so they only use two right here, 4 and 6. They won't use all 8, but these headers will. So it'll be 3, 5, and then 8. So it'll be 3 on each side, 3 on the left and right, and then 2 in the middle. I did those 2 right there. You can kind of see them right there. And then I got those 3, and then 2 pretty much on the side, and then I have that one right there. So I got that pretty much done. I might put some, I don't know if I should put some Teflon tape on this. I don't really know what I could do with this, but I might just do that just to block it off. But other than that, this side's done. I just gotta go under there and put on the piece that will eventually go to the cap. And that's it for this side. The other side, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I think I'm gonna have to just wait for my friend to come through, and we'll work on it together. And like I said, I think on that side, I'm definitely gonna have to cut off the cat too, just like on this side. Cause let me see if I can go underneath here. Okay, so that's where I cut it, right there. And where it's supposed to go is right there. So it's gonna be a lot of a lot of moving around, because I think the one that comes with it will obviously connect here, but then I think it'll start coming back. So it'll eventually come over here, right here. If not, I'm gonna just have to modify the exhaust, which I really don't mind, but I hope I don't have to. But this is what it looks like from underneath. They're really clean. I'm loving the way they're coming out. So unfortunately, I did not get to film yesterday because it was super late. Right now it's 6 o'clock, and since we're in September, you know, we started working on this at 7, and 7 o'clock it's already pretty dark. So I wouldn't have been able to film pretty much anything, but we did get the passenger side off. This is definitely by far going to be the toughest side to get to, because we even tried to put this side in yesterday and it was just not working at all. So we noticed, obviously, and that's the EGR tube right there. We noticed something that was just off, so we kept wiggling it around. Luckily we didn't break it off, but we kept wiggling it, and we're like, what the hell's going on? And I moved around and I saw that was just coming, like it was just trying to come apart from the manifold, and I was like, no, hold on. So we ended up taking it off. That's a 13 millimeter, and it's held on right here. Let me zoom in. So it's held on like right there, right here on the bottom. It's pretty tricky to get to because it's on the other side. It's not on this side, where it would be a lot easier. You have to really get in there, and I would advise you to go with the wrench, because if you go with the ratchet, it's not going to give you any room at all. And what we're noticing is that we're going to have to take off this spark plug. We're going to have to take off the oil dipstick. And then we took off the alternator just because we couldn't get to the bolts right here. So these first ones right here. I really didn't want to take it off, but it basically gave me no choice. And for those of you out there going with these BBKs, I highly recommend that you take off the alternator. It just makes life a lot easier. You just have to loosen the serpentine belt, and then it'll just come right off. And I mean, my brackets, I mean, this one was connected. We took off this bottom one, and actually this one was missing a nut on the side, because it goes straight through here and it's held on with a nut right here, so it's tight. It didn't even have it, so my alternator was pretty much just held on by the damn serpentine belt. So I got another small issue on my hands, but it's not anything major. Anyways, luckily I already heat wrapped my spark plug wires, so I don't have to do that. I pretty much just have to remove the dipstick and then remove that spark plug so I don't break it, because there's not much room to work with here, and I thought I was gonna be able to finesse it through here, through the bottom, but it's just as bad because you can't really move the header at all through there. So that's pretty much what we're on right now. I didn't work on it today. I just wanted to give a quick update. You see all of our mess here. That's a huge mess in this car. I actually got a new intake elbow. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it for now. Not many issues. It came off pretty easily. You just have to wiggle it around, move it around, and it'll eventually come out. Just don't, I mean, obviously with these spark plug wires, just try not to get them mixed up so you get a misfire. I actually have mine tucked in down here. I don't know where it's at. It's all the way down there. So I'm actually trying to just, because I'm not going to be able to work on this car till in a couple more days. Until I get some help. My friend couldn't come through this weekend. Today's Saturday. So I'm gonna just wait. I'd rather just wait so I can get some help with it. It makes life a lot easier when you have two people. And yeah, hopefully once this side is on, I mean, we pretty much just gotta get it on. Get the bolts in here. The bolts are gonna be a little tough, but it's just like the, damn, did we break them? It was super easy on this side. There's a lot of room to get these bolts in. Unlike the stock manifolds, there's not much room at all. It's super bulky.
and obviously they're ugly, so you really don't have much room to work with. But here actually it was pretty easy. I just had to use both of my fingers just to hold it on this side, and then through the top just to thread it in by hand and then get it in with a wrench. And like I said, I used the BBK bolts, so they're 10mm, and then I just wouldn't use one ARP down there, and it was an 8mm. But I'm gonna continue to use the BBK bolts just because I don't want to have to struggle on that side, because it is going to be difficult on the other side to get the bolts in there. But like I said, difficult but not impossible. So hopefully the next time I record, I will be back with the header on the other side. And just a super quick update for those of you wondering, because I obviously live in California, I did take off the smog pump, so as you can see, it's not there anymore. I can't take off that bracket, I'm gonna have to work with that, but I did take it off. There is a connection right here that I just zip tied off for now. I'm gonna probably move it, but I just took that off. I'm gonna take the fuse off, and it was just held on by 3 10mm bolts. So there's one right here, and then one up towards the top, which is right there. That one right there. And then this bracket was held on by a bolt right there. I think it was a 14. I took it off and it didn't come off, so I'm gonna have to work with that later. But yeah, just in case you guys were wondering if how you guys would do it, it's super easy. I left the tubing in here just in case I need to put it back on. So if you're 100% sure you're not going to want this smog pump back on, just go ahead and cut it off. There is the tube right there. You can see it right there. It runs underneath this is what, the harmonic balancer, so it just runs underneath right there where the oil pan is at, so you could just cut it off, and then it just, I think it's only like tack welded over here, so you could just easily take it off. The Impala SS is finally done. So yesterday I did have time to put the passenger side on. Took me about 3.5 hours, just because, I mean, this is my first time I ever put headers on any car. So I did have a little bit of trouble just with this ground right here on the alternator, and then just putting some stuff back. So I didn't put this bracket back on because I didn't put the brackets back on just because I was able to get these tight right here, where this bracket would go to the header right here. And then I think it was held up over here too on some of these first ones. Let me see, on some of those first ones. So I left it like that, and I felt it was pretty solid, so I didn't mess with it any more than that. So yeah, I mean, I got the passenger side. I actually ran it yesterday, but unfortunately I'm running on open headers right now, and it sounds super good, but it's also extremely loud. So I can't run it right now until I actually get these brake lines heat wrapped. So I already ordered some heat wrap, and it's coming tomorrow. I'm gonna heat wrap I think from like right here all the way to right here, and even down there, because the brake lines are super close down there, and it's just for good measure. And then I might just this smog pump crap, because I'm not gonna take this off. I'll probably just heat wrap that too. I noticed that my air intake pipe got super hot too. It might just be because they're open headers and all the heat from the back is just staying in here. So other than that, I mean, and then on this side I did have to move off the dipstick. So there is a 10mm bolt. Not sure if you guys can see down there, but there's like a small bracket right there, and there's a 10mm bolt that just bolts onto I want to say the block, the bottom of the block, and you just take it off and you could easily move it around. Like I can kind of move it around, but not too much because there's not that much room for it anymore. And I'm definitely gonna heat wrap this too, because I noticed that it does get pretty hot under here. So just for safety too,
so none of this burns up. Yeah, I mean, there's good clearance on the back. I didn't have any issue at all with these. I mean, it's just some wires back here that are touching, but other than that, I mean, I don't have any issues at all. I can't give a review yet on these headers because they're open headers and you can't hear anything on it. All you hear is just the big ass V8 that this thing is. I mean, it's a small block, but when you have open headers, you can't hear the headers. All you just hear is just the engine itself. And actually, when I did a cold start on this thing, it scared the hell out of me because I've never had experience with open headers before, and now that I have, it sounds really good, but I'm definitely gonna get pulled over, so that's why I gotta get the cats back on there, unfortunately. But at least I'll be able to hear how the BBK headers sound with the Series 40 Flowmasters I have on here, and I think it's gonna sound pretty good. And yeah, I mean, I got this elbow on here, and then I'm gonna end up doing that fuel rail cover later on. But for now, I mean, the headers are finally done. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I finally did it. And to do it on my own, it's amazing. And to do it in my driveway, because I don't have a lift. I did this solely in my driveway, just with jack stands, a floor jack, obviously with the help of my friend. But it's amazing, honestly. I'm happy and grateful I was able to do this by myself. And honestly, out of the difficulty rating, I'd probably just give it a 7, since these were my first bolt-ons that I ever did. Anyone who has experience with this will probably be able to easily do them in probably like in a day or two. The only reason why it took me this long, like about a week and a half, was because I didn't have time to work on it from morning to night or morning to afternoon. I did have things to do. I had to go to work and, you know, just other things, and that's the reason why it took me so long. And I just decided yesterday, like, what the hell, I didn't have anything to do, let me just give it a shot. And yeah, it all worked out. I was able to, I mean, the serpentine belt on this car is ridiculously easy. It's ridiculously easy to put it back on. So all I have to do is just bolt up the alternator from top to bottom and just slide the serpentine belt over and make sure that the smooth side is on this one, and then make sure that all of them are lined up on the bottom, on the compressor, and then on the harmonic balancer, and that's it. And then obviously this one, the tensioner. But I mean, other than that, it's super easy. So the job was actually pretty easy once I finished, and then just did the air intake at the end. And then I was afraid that the battery died, but good thing it didn't. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, and I'm super happy. So I might be doing I will be doing a cold start open headers before I take it to the muffler shop to get the cats back on, and then I will do a cold start once I get them back on with the headers, and then the 40 series Flowmasters. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be putting up that video pretty soon. So other than that, I mean, I think everything's pretty good here. But if anything comes up, I will put it in the comment section. I will pin my own comment just to have anything I may have forgotten. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching.